Hi, today I'm recording this on the 3rd of April. In just 30 days, I will turn 70. What? Yes, MIckeleh turned 70 on May 3rd, 2013. I keep reading tweets from people who dread turning 20 or 21, 25, 30, or 50. I've turned all of those. Nothing happens. See, I grew up in New York at a time when the state drinking age was 18, the way it is in civilized countries. So turning 21 means very little. But 70 is an actual biblical expiration date. Psalm 90. Yemei shnotenu vahem shiv'im shana, ve'im b'gvurot shmonim shana. The days of our years are 80 years and 10, and if, by reason of strength, they be 80 years. I'm going to tell you a secret. The Hebrew just says 70 years and 80 years. None of that fancy King James counting by score. I thought you should know that. I also thought you should know I still feel very healthy. Most of my organs are working reasonably well. Okay, who's smirking out there? Who is smirking? It's not what you're thinking. I'll explain. A year and a half ago, I had an organ that was not working well. It was working too well. I haven't talked about this, but it's Veda, and I need the topics. Back then, I was feeling a little out of sorts, kind of fogged in. Couldn't quite say exactly what was wrong, but everything felt off, sluggish. I had even more than my usual trouble concentrating and keeping on task. Kind of felt stupid. You get a little older and you start feeling stupid, you get worried. Doctor took tests, more tests, and found my calcium levels were whack. Now, calcium has something to do with body electrical mumbo-jumbo, and body electrical mumbo-jumbo is what the brain runs on. You can look it up if you're interested. This ain't the SciShow. So I had more tests. I peed, they bled, scans, specialist. Diagnosis was that something was wrong with one of my parathyroid glands. I had hyperparathyroidism, which means I had way too much parathyroid hormone. Quick, to the Google. Parathyroid glands are fascinating. They're about the size of a chickpea. They have nothing to do with the thyroid gland, except they're in the neighborhood. Para as in parallel, beside or next to the thyroid. They're just friends. So here's the thing about your parathyroids. Most organs that we have more than one of come in pairs. Eyes, lungs, nipples, ovaries, testicles, ears. Parathyroids come in a set of 4, and apparently we only need one, so we got lots of spare parts. So one of mine had gone haywire, had grown to the size of a walnut. I don't actually have a walnut. This is a Creative Commons walnut. And it was pumping out enormous amounts of parathyroid hormone, spiking my calcium. Remedy, operation, just snip out the bad gland. If the diagnosis was right, everything should go back to normal. My surgery was at the University of Washington Medical Center. This is a big surgical pavilion. They must have, 2 dozen surgeries a day. So every morning, beginning at 6 in the morning, dozens of people check in to pre-op. And this is the really terrifying part of surgery, because you've got all these people checking in, and you get put on these wheelie beds called gurneys and drugged, and then wheeled into an elevator and taken to some other part of the building and wheeled into various surgical theaters, like it's a show, operating rooms. So how do you know you're going to wind up in the right one? How do you know you'll be in the cinema where your movie is playing? Because I think that's important. I don't know all the kinds of surgeries they do there, but I'm pretty sure most of them involve cutting. Good chunk of them are probably like mine. They take something out of you. Sometimes they put something in. Or if it's a transplant, first they take something out and then they put something in. So you really want to be in your assigned place with your assigned surgeon. How do they manage that? Well, there's a system. They just keep checking and rechecking. In pre-op, everyone who comes to see you asks your name, your date of birth, and why you're here. Technicians, nurses, surgeon, the other surgeon, the anesthesiologist, the other anesthesiologist. All the same. What's your name? What's your date of birth? What are you here for? And I'm thinking, this should be going the other way. You guys should be telling me my name, my date of birth, and why I'm here. Why should I give you the answers? What I need to know is that you have the right information. And they never show you what's on the paper. They just nod. And then the drugs hit, and you nod. And then the next thing you know, you're awake in a different room, and it's already happened. Well, it turns out mine was a fairly simple procedure, small incision. This is me 4 hours after I got to the hospital, and an hour after that I was home, same day. Parathyroid hormone has a half-life of about 4 minutes. It lasts shorter than this video. So once they snip out the bad gland, the hormone level starts dropping precipitously immediately, and they can tell within minutes whether they fix the problem. Here's my scar. Can you see it? I don't even notice it anymore. So that's why I say most of the organs are working fine. I'm just making exceptions for the following, which are missing in action. Parathyroid, 1. Adenoids, a pair. Tonsils, a pair, wherever they are. Until next time, I'm the rest of MIckeleh. DVD extra. Here's the bad part. I left it for the hardcore viewers who stick around for the extras. The worst part of the operation is what they call intubation. Intubation, from the words in, tube, and bus station. They take a tube big enough to drive a bus through, and they stick it down your windpipe so you won't choke. And you don't feel it going in, and you don't feel it coming out because you're anesthetized. Gag reflex? Irrelevant. But then they send you home when the anesthesia wears off, and you feel like a bus has driven down your windpipe into your lungs. And what's more, the whole thing gave me hiccups. So here's the irony. One of my most popular videos is called How to Cure Hiccups, and the cure works most of the time, but not this time. I could not get rid of my post-operative hiccups. Me, Mr. Hiccup Cure. They went away after a week. Vida, on the other hand, is sticking around all month. Not bad so far. We're 3 for 3. Can I keep it up? Tune in tomorrow. Oh, new feature in the extras. Today's shirt. Nothing says aging hippie like a Grateful Dead t-shirt. This commemorates a concert in April 1972, part of their famous Europe 72 tour.